In the picturesque chaos of Dusty Corners, a small town in Alabama, Bella was born, the youngest daughter of a family that had mastered the art of survival with very few resources. Their humble, weathered cottage was filled with an unparalleled warmth, a fortress of affection, resilience, and determination. Bella grew up under the protective shadow of her parents, who never let love wane despite overwhelming poverty. They wove tales of hope and determination around the fireplace, filling the air with stories of a bright future. Her older brother, Jake, was her hero, always ready with an encouraging smile or a kind word, making the hardships a little more bearable. When Bella turned 18, she found her first job at a place that would become her second home, Rosemary's, a restaurant that was the pulsing heart of the local community. "You have fire in your eyes, my dear," Rosemary, the owner, told her on the day Bella applied for the kitchen assistant position. And it was in Rosemary's kitchen that Bella began to understand the magic of cooking, learning that each spice, each ingredient, told a story. For 3 years, Bella worked alongside Rosemary, who became more than just a boss to her. Rosemary was like the grandmother Bella never had, teaching her not only about cooking but also about life. "Life is like a recipe, Bella," Rosemary used to say. "Sometimes you add a little sweetness, other times a bit of salt. But, in the end, it's love that makes the difference." But, like all things, time took its toll. Rosemary's health began to deteriorate, and her children, concerned for her well-being, decided to move her to a bigger city where she would have access to better healthcare. This resulted in the closure of Rosemary's. Bella bid farewell to the old lady, promising to keep the flame she had ignited in her heart alive. As the lights of Dusty Corners faded in the rearview mirror, Bella stared into the unknown, her life's belongings packed into a small suitcase. Her destination: Chicago, the city where her brother Jake had found refuge and established his life. She aspired to new possibilities, a fresh start, even with fear pulsating through her veins. Arriving in Chicago was a cultural shock. The bright lights, skyscrapers, and fast pace of the city were a stark contrast to the peaceful life in Dusty Corners. Jake, always the caring brother, welcomed Bella into his home, promising to help her adapt to this new life. After a few weeks of searching, Bella found a job at the Urban Spoon, a bustling popular restaurant. Dressed in a waitress apron, Bella served customers with a smile, but her heart was in the kitchen. The smell of blended spices, the clatter of pots and pans, and the art of cooking called to her. One day, Bella gathered her courage and approached the restaurant's chef, an imposing man named Gordon. She cleared her throat and said, "Chef Gordon, I would like an opportunity in the kitchen. I know I have much to learn, but I'm willing to start from the bottom." Gordon looked at her for a long moment before responding, "The kitchen is not for the faint of heart, Bella. Are you prepared for hard work?" Bella nodded, determined. "Yes, I am. I'm not afraid of hard work." Gordon studied her for another moment before agreeing. "All right, Bella. You can start by washing dishes." With overflowing gratitude, Bella accepted the challenge. She knew she was just getting started, but she was ready to absorb everything she could about the art of cooking. Bella plunged into the opportunity with burning passion. The heat of the Urban Spoon's kitchen became her refuge, every dish washed, every crumb swept from the floor, every moment of peeking at the chef's working turned into valuable lessons. She absorbed everything like a sponge, from the way Gordon skillfully handled the knife to chop onions without shedding a single tear, to the way he orchestrated the kitchen with a mix of authority and camaraderie. One day, seeing Gordon struggling to prepare a sauce, Bella, without thinking, approached and suggested a modification to the recipe. Surprised, Gordon watched as she stirred the sauce with skill. The result was surprisingly good, and from that day on, Bella was no longer just a dishwasher. "Bella," Gordon said one day, his stern gaze softened by a smile, "you have talent. I see the passion in your eyes. Would you like to learn more about the art of cooking?" Bella could hardly believe her ears. "You mean, as an apprentice chef?" Gordon nodded. "Exactly. But that means you need to commit. Are you willing to do that?" Without hesitation, Bella said, "Yes, chef." With the support of Gordon and Charlie, the restaurant owner, Bella enrolled in a culinary course. The evening classes were exhausting after long days of work, but she never complained. Her talent blossomed under the guidance of her teachers and mentors, and in no time, she found herself wearing the white chef's hat at the Urban Spoon. "Bella, you have truly surpassed yourself," Charlie praised her one day, his eyes gleaming with pride. "You're ready to be the head chef of this restaurant." Bella, overwhelmed, could only whisper a thank you. It was beyond her wildest dreams, but she was ready to embrace the challenge. With a wooden spoon in one hand and a chef's hat in the other, Bella was ready to conquer the culinary world. Bella's life, which seemed to be progressing in a steady upward rhythm, was dealt a brutal blow. Her father, that man with calloused hands and a gentle smile, succumbed to the severity of a devastating flu. The news hit Bella like a bolt out of the blue, leaving her breathless and with an indescribable void in her chest. Bella, Jake, her brother, spoke on the phone, his voice laden with a pain she had never heard before. "Dad. Dad is gone." Bella felt a wave of cold wash over her body, her legs gave way under the weight of the news, and she slumped into a nearby chair. The words seemed to echo in her mind, a cruel blow of reality. She and Jake returned to their humble hometown, Dusty Corners, a place that felt both familiar and strange. They came together to mourn their beloved father, finding silent solace in each other's presence. However, tragedy was far from over. A month after the loss of her husband, Bella's mother, once vibrant and full of life, succumbed to a stroke. The loss of her life's love had left a void in her heart that she couldn't overcome. "Bella, Mom. Mom is gone too," Jake said when he called again, his voice choked with pain. She couldn't bear it without Dad. Bella, still immersed in the grief of her father, felt as if the ground was ripped from under her feet. The pain was almost unbearable, tormenting her day after day. But amidst the sorrow, Bella clung to the memory of her parents, to the love they had given her, to the strength they had taught her. She promised herself that somehow, she would find a way to carry on, for herself and for them. Though the pain of loss still haunted her, Bella realized that life had to go on. With a heavy heart, she returned to the hustle and bustle of Chicago, determined to dive back into her work at the Urban Spoon, an attempt to find some normalcy amidst the chaos. It was during the journey back, on a nighttime bus illuminated only by the soft glow of stars, that fate decided to surprise her. Seated next to her was a young man, whose caring gaze and charming smile caught her attention. "The road is long, isn't it?" he asked, breaking the silence of the journey. Bella, surprised, looked at him and nodded. "Yes, quite. I'm heading back home after visiting my family." The conversation that ensued was light and genuine. The young man, whose name was Ethan, had a gentle manner and a reassuring presence. They talked about everything, from the small trivialities of life to their dreams and hopes. Unbeknownst to her, Bella found herself genuinely smiling for the first time in weeks. At the end of the journey, Ethan looked at Bella with a sincere expression. "I really enjoyed talking to you, Bella. Would you like to grab a coffee sometime?" Bella felt her heart race. She looked at Ethan, with his kind smile and warm eyes, and realized that, perhaps, she was ready to take a step towards something new. "I would love to, Ethan," she replied, a smile blossoming on her face. And so, amidst the whirlwind of emotions and losses, Bella found a glimpse of happiness. She and Ethan began dating, finding comfort and joy in each other's company, an oasis amidst the storm. At the height of her career, Bella felt an inner calling, an impulse to create something that was solely hers. With a gleam of determination in her eyes, she made the decision to open her own restaurant. Thus, Bella's Kitchen was born, a charming establishment that brought together the nostalgic flavors of her childhood in dusty corners with the refinement of the culinary skills she had learned in Chicago. Bella's Kitchen was an instant success from the moment its doors opened. The reviews were unanimous in their praise, highlighting Bella's passion in the kitchen and the welcoming atmosphere of the place. Customers filled the restaurant every night, longing for a taste of Bella's magical cuisine. Simultaneously, her personal life flourished as well. Ethan, the man who had brought a ray of light into her life during dark times, proposed to her. With tearful eyes and a smile that lit up her face, Bella said yes. "Ethan, you are my light in the storm, my safe harbor. With all my heart, I accept." Bella's response was followed by applause and warm congratulations from friends and family. Bella and Ethan's wedding was a beautiful celebration of love and unity. The radiant happiness of the two newlyweds was palpable, illuminating the wedding venue with a warm and contagious energy. Amidst the flurry of her wedding and the resounding success of Bella's Kitchen, Bella's life seemed like a dream come true. She looked around, to her loving husband, to the thriving restaurant she had created, and felt a wave of gratitude and happiness. For Bella, life, with all its ups and downs, had reached a peak of perfection. The years passed like a gentle breeze, bringing with them a life filled with joys and accomplishments for Bella. 5 years since the opening of Bella's Kitchen, 5 years of a blissful marriage with Ethan. Life seemed like a fairy tale, with Bella reigning over the culinary scene of Chicago and Ethan thriving as a manager in a renowned multinational company. They lived in harmony, flaunting an enviable existence that many desired. However, on a day that started like any other, Bella's perfect life crumbled in the blink of an eye. She was in her restaurant, immersed in the hustle and bustle of the daily routine, when the door swung open abruptly, revealing a team of police officers with serious expressions and arrest warrants in hand. "Bella Thompson, you are under custody for charges of corruption and money laundering," announced the officer, as cold handcuffs tightened around her wrists. A sense of confusion and panic engulfed her as she was taken away, her eyes searching for Ethan, but he was notably absent. In the chaos that followed, Bella uncovered an intricate web of corruption, with her name and forged signature appearing in a series of suspicious transactions. Ethan, the man she loved and trusted, had vanished, leaving behind a trail of lies and deception. He had used Bella as a pawn in his corruption scheme, forging her signature and making her the primary scapegoat. There were dozens of bank accounts in Bella's name with multi-million-dollar transactions. Despite Ethan's escape and Bella's clear manipulation, the pressure from public opinion and the need for swift conviction led to a hasty trial. Bella, the woman who once graced the society and gastronomy pages, now found her face plastered across the crime section. The verdict was devastating: 10 years in prison. The scandal shook the city, transforming Bella's success story into a tragic narrative of betrayal and downfall. Bella's Kitchen, once a symbol of her triumph, now served as a dark reminder of a life she no longer recognized. Bella's life, once a dream, had turned into a nightmare. The years in prison were an unimaginable ordeal for Bella, a journey of pain and despair that left her emotionally drained. Upon her release, she found herself in a world she felt disconnected from, a prisoner still shackled by the stigma of being an ex-convict. The shadow of her past was like a persistent specter, preventing her from pursuing work in her beloved profession as a chef. Fearful of judgment and rejection, Bella couldn't muster the courage to return to the kitchen as a chef. The shame of the scandal that had tarnished her name was overwhelming. She even attempted to go back to her former workplace, the Urban Spoon, but discovered it had closed during her sentence. Finally, she found an opportunity as a dishwasher at Spice Avenue, a small restaurant that hired her despite her past. Bella worked in silence, almost invisible, huddled in a corner, fearing to draw attention to herself. Everyone in the restaurant knew about her past, but the owner, a kind-hearted man, welcomed her without prejudice. A year passed in this rhythm, with Bella hiding in the shadows, avoiding glances and whispers. During that time, she made a friend, Lucy, a kitchen assistant who exuded a warm and welcoming personality. On the other hand, there was Natalie, another kitchen assistant who emanated prejudice and disdain toward Bella due to her past. The rest of the staff remained indifferent, avoiding involvement. Lucy knew that Bella had once been a renowned chef, but Bella begged her to keep it a secret, fearing the attention that revelation would bring. "Please, Lucy, don't tell anyone," Bella pleaded in a whisper, "I just want to be invisible." And so, Bella continued her existence in the shadows, each day a struggle to overcome the shame and guilt that surrounded her. On an ordinary afternoon, the owner of Spice Avenue, a wealthy man named Robert, called all the staff for a special announcement. With a gleam of excitement in his eyes, he declared, "I am organizing a cooking competition among all of us here. It doesn't matter if you're a cook, waiter, or dishwasher. Whoever creates the most delicious dish will not only be rewarded with a substantial cash prize, but their dish will be added to our permanent menu." The workers' eyes gleamed with anticipation, but Bella discreetly shrank into a corner, seeking to avoid attention. Lucy, seeing the chance for Bella to reclaim her talented chef status, approached her and whispered enthusiastically, "Bella, you should participate. You're an amazing chef, remember? This is your chance." But Natalie, always eager to sow discord, overheard Lucy's comment and jeered, "Seriously? A dishwasher participating in a cooking competition? What a joke." She cruelly laughed, causing Bella to shrink even further. However, after much insistence from Lucy, Bella finally agreed to participate in the competition. "Okay, Lucy," she said in a low voice, "I'll participate. But only because you're asking me to." She couldn't shake off a feeling of apprehension, but at the same time, a small flame of hope began to flicker in her heart. On the day of the competition, Natalie was dissatisfied with the taste of her own dish and, driven by jealousy, decided to sabotage Bella. When she had the opportunity to taste the dish Bella had prepared, she was stunned by the explosion of flavors that invaded her palate. How could a mere dishwasher create something so divine? Natalie wondered. This led her to make a reckless decision. With an evil smile, Natalie sneaked into the restaurant's storage room and grabbed her phone, dialing her boyfriend's number. "Hey, babe," she spoke, her voice sugary sweet masking her intentions. "I need you to do something for me. Call Bella, pretend to be from the police, and tell her she needs to come in immediately to sign a subpoena." The unexpected call rattled Bella. Her mind was filled with worry and confusion, and she couldn't focus on the competition. Seeing Bella distressed, Natalie approached, false concern painted on her face. "Bella, I can present your dish. Don't worry, I'll take care of everything for you." In the confusion of the moment, Bella nodded, thanking Natalie, unaware of her intentions. As soon as Bella left, Natalie acted swiftly. With a muffled laugh, she began altering Bella's original dish to present as her own, adding a bizarre mixture of spices, completely ruining the delicate balance of flavors. Then, She took Bella's untouched and delicious original dish to present as her own. The time to present the dishes arrived, and the spotlight was on the table where Robert, the restaurant owner, and a panel of guest chefs sat, ready to taste each dish. The first one served was the one Natalie had sabotaged, claiming it was Bella's. At first glance, it looked appetizing, but as the judges plunged their spoons, their expressions changed drastically. Robert, with a displeased look, attempted to chew once, twice, but then set his utensil aside, unable to swallow. The other chefs agreed, frowning and shaking their heads in disapproval. The taste was mismatched, strange, there was no harmony in the ingredients. Next, it was time for Bella's original dish, which Natalie presented as her own. At first glance, it was a culinary masterpiece, and with the first bite, everyone was amazed. The balance of flavors was sublime, each ingredient sang in harmony with the next, creating a culinary symphony that danced on the palates of all present. There were surprised glances exchanged among the chefs, followed by nods of approval. Lucy, observing all of this from a distance, felt a knot in her stomach. She knew Bella's talent and knew something was wrong. Her friend had too much skill to present such a bad dish. Robert stood up, thanking everyone for their participation, and announced, "The final decision will be given tomorrow, with all the staff present. We have much to discuss and analyze. Good night, everyone." And so, he left everyone in suspense, eagerly awaiting the contest's result. Upon arriving home, Bella found a peaceful silence, no police waiting for her. The call had been nothing but a prank. Confusion and frustration overwhelmed her, but it was too late to do anything that day. The next day, an aura of anticipation enveloped Spice Avenue restaurant. All the staff gathered, anxious to hear the contest's result. Robert, the restaurant owner, entered the room with a serious expression, holding an envelope containing the winner's name in his hands. "The winning dish is..." he began, and Natalie, already getting up, awaited the announcement of her name. However, Robert said, "Bella." A momentary silence fell upon the place. Everyone was puzzled, including Bella. How could she be the winner when her dish had been a catastrophe? Robert then clarified, "I was passing by the pantry and overheard Natalie making a phone call to her boyfriend, asking him to prank Bella. So, I decided to check the kitchen cameras and saw Natalie sabotaging Bella's dish and presenting Bella's original dish as her own." Robert's words were followed by murmurs of surprise and disapproval. Natalie, utterly embarrassed and angry, was fired on the spot. Robert then turned his attention to Bella, who was still trying to process everything that was happening, and said, "Bella, you are an incredible cook. Your talent is undeniable. I would like to invite you to take on the position of head chef at Spice Avenue. What do you think?" Bella, with eyes filled with emotion, accepted the invitation with a radiant smile. "Yes, I accept. Thank you so much, Robert." And so, Bella, the dishwasher who had faced so many obstacles, became the chef of the restaurant. Time unfolded like a ball of yarn, bringing significant changes with it. Bella, now the chef of Spice Avenue, was in constant contact with Robert. Together, they weaved dreams and shared many moments, creating a strong bond between them. Robert, captivated by Bella's strength and resilience, fell in love with her. However, Bella, still haunted by the scars of her past with Ethan, hesitated to accept any form of affection. She was afraid to open up again, fearing betrayal once more. Robert, sensing her hesitation, decided to do something unexpected. "Bella," he began on a peaceful day at the restaurant, "I understand your fear and hesitation. But I want you to know that I am here for you, and my love for you is genuine." She smiled sadly, thanking him for his understanding, but before she could say more, Robert continued, "To prove it, I have hired a renowned lawyer and a private detective to reopen your case. To uncover the truth." Bella was shocked but also touched by Robert's gesture. Over the following months, the lawyer and detective worked tirelessly, turning over every stone of the case, searching for clues and information that could prove Bella's innocence. After months of relentless pursuit of the truth, the lawyer and detective finally managed to piece together the intricate puzzle that was Bella's case. They meticulously analyzed every financial transaction, every document, every tiny detail that could be used to prove Bella's innocence. Through a complex network of leads, they were able to discover that Ethan and his accomplices were hiding in a secluded tropical paradise in the Philippines. Far from any suspicion, they were enjoying a life of luxury while Bella suffered the consequences of their crimes. With the collaboration of local authorities, they were able to capture Ethan and his accomplices. The news of the case made headlines worldwide. The international press eagerly reported the story of how the successful chef, wrongly accused, was finally exonerated, while the true criminals were brought to justice. The revelations shocked everyone, but for Bella, it was the redemption she longed for. She could finally free herself from the burden she carried and begin to rebuild her life, now free from the shadows of a distressing past. The relief Bella felt upon being declared innocent was indescribable. She was finally free from Ethan's shadow and the crimes he committed in her name. And, most importantly, she recognized the true and sincere love that Robert had for her, a love that helped her find the justice and peace she deserved. With Robert's love and support, Bella was able to overcome her past traumas. She accepted Robert's marriage proposal and finally found the happiness she truly deserved, both in her personal and professional life. Thus, Bella, the girl who once washed dishes at Rosemary's, became the renowned chef and owner of Spice Avenue, proving that no matter where you start, it is always possible to find happiness if you never stop fighting for your dreams. And you? How would you have acted in Bella's place? Share your opinion in the comments. Don't forget to leave a like as well. The next story appearing on your screen will surely touch your heart. Hugs, and see you in the next video.